Hello, friends, and welcome to another installment of Go Tell It on the Mountain. Today, I get to spend some time with Reverend Paul Nesbit. And not only, Paul, did I get to visit one of your churches, but I get a twofer on Sunday. I think when we first talked about this, I shared with you a memory of when I was a local church pastor that I pastored two churches about 47 miles apart, and I had a morning service and an early afternoon service. And then I think maybe with beautiful invitation, or maybe to haze me, you were like, well, good, since you know how to do that, let's do it. So I am looking forward to being with you and your communities this coming Sunday. So let's jump right in. Paul, how, my friend, did the Holy Spirit get you and convince you to say yes to two calls?
Oh man, let me tell you, it was interesting at best. A lot of listening, a lot of praying, a lot of I knew both Westfield and Southwick because of things that I had done earlier on in my life. I loved the area and I loved the people. So it was almost a no-brainer for me to submit my profile into consideration. And what I did at that point was I put it in the hands of the Holy Spirit. Said to God, if this is where you want me to go, I had a call already. I was the associate pastor in Wilbraham. I was teaching full-time, but I knew that if I had received this call full-time, that my teaching career, I would retire from teaching. So, and that's what happened. It's almost like not the end, but a culmination of a lifelong call that I thought I was answering and then didn't answer until 4 years ago. So I mean, we're finishing up year number 4 of this dual. I know.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So somebody's watching this and they're thinking, couldn't do it, not possible. Like there's going to be so many barriers and disagreements and da. But you're saying 4 years. So what piece of advice would you give someone who might find themselves in a Holy Spirit moment?
Number one, you need to have patience. And you need to stay open to the Spirit. And what I had to do was to remind the congregation, the leadership of the congregations, that they had to speak to each other. And they had to work together if they wanted to make this happen. So we did that. The other thing that's really been great is 2 congregations who probably will never merge. And it's just a fact. But they have come together at least once a month to worship. And we take turns. Sometimes we're in Westfield. Sometimes we're in Southwick, depending on the weather. If it's really hot, we go to Southwick because they have air conditioning. But so we keep cool. And they've really grown to enjoy each other's company, and they enjoy worshiping and celebrating together because there's always a meal. And so those types of things have worked out really well. I think better than they had hoped, certainly better than I had hoped.
Right. That's actually a great testimony to give. So I'm going to keep in that same train and say to you, so what's exciting you about these 2 congregations? Like what's happening in the life of Southwick and Westfield that you're like, yes, this thing. Yeah. What's bringing you joy and hope?
What both churches have been able to do is they have been able to move ministry up to the next level. What both churches were really good about doing was, oh, well, this food pantry needs food, so we'll collect food and we'll bring it over to them. That's fine. What they hadn't been doing is, first of all, inviting people in. So that my big push for both churches was to be, let's open those doors and let's see who comes in. If we start inviting, then we do things in different ways. So we invite people in for a meal and don't charge them anything. And say, just come be with us. Come see who we are. And they've done that. But what they've also done is they've realized that they need to do that with people who are in need. And not simply to go provide food, but to actually bring people in and feed them, those who are in need. So we do that in the winter, especially in the winter months when the Westfield Food Pantry's food truck, they come and park outside our church. So I go out and do ministry with those folks on Mondays and Thursdays. But we've started bringing people in the winter so they're not eating outdoors and they're having a nice meal inside.
Yeah.
So we've been able to do that. And Southwick has come and helped so that they know that people work together. And not only in that spirit has spread to other churches in the area. So it's become a whole ecumenical mission.
Oh, very, very good. Okay. I appreciate that. So I think the last sort of question or reflection is, so what exactly is happening on Sunday and how can people go? Because it's not just your two churches. You have literally made the table. Like, what do they say? Bread and the feast of the Lord is going on.
I know. We have 10 different churches. We had invited others, but we have 10 different churches and they're not all UCC. So First United Methodist and Episcopal Church of the Atonement, they are both coming as well. But we have churches, UCC churches from Granville, Feeding Hills, Southwick, Chicopee, First Congregational Westfield, Second Congregational Westfield, Agawam Congregational. We did this last year. I was at an event at Stanley Park under the beverage pavilion where we'll be. And I thought, wouldn't this be a cool place to do worship and a celebration? So I brought it home and we just kind of did it. And then this year we brought the other churches in for the planning session and said, all right, how do we make this different or better? Or what can we do so that this will be more of a spiritual event for you? And so I'm hoping that's what will be. But I can't stress enough. We literally set up a hall in 8 minutes and broke it down in 10 and cleaned it. You get a bunch of church folks together. We joke about like the church ladies. Well, church men and ladies will come in and they know what needs to be done. They just know, and they don't even need direction. They just went. I turned my head, I turned back, and the whole hall was set up. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Wow. So,
I mean, it's things like that. And we have musicians coming from 3 different churches this year instead of just one. So we've tried to farm that out. And so everyone is welcome. If you're in the Westfield, Mass area, please come to Stanley Park on Sunday, September 28th at 10:30 and join us in this worship celebration. And you get to stay for lunch because there'll be great food afterwards. Hamburgers, hot dogs, everything we're cooking right there. You'll smell it while we're worshiping.
Right. What I love about the opportunity is, it's, for me, I hear two things kind of happening. One, it's an internal thing and helping faith communities have an ecumenical moment together. That reminds us that in this moment, we all need each other and we do not have to be divided by denominational lines and different things like that. But the other piece is that you have sort of broke the fourth wall. You've left the building and gone to the people, with the possibility that people who are sitting in the park, who may not come over for the hot dogs and hamburgers, but somehow they might hear something that reminds them that Christianity doesn't have to be divisive or pushing people aside, or maybe there just might be a Jesus who welcomes everyone. So very strategic, my friend. A smart thing to be able to do.
We've been working on all those things. So
good.
Here's hoping it continues to work.
I have faith that it will. Friends, you have had an opportunity to be with Reverend Paul Nesbit, and I really strongly encourage you, if you are thinking of something to do on your Sunday morning with a little food, fun, and fellowship, then I would invite you to join us. Down at the bottom, you're going to see a ticker, Take Action Now, and that represents all of the ways you and your congregation might be involved in making this world a better place. We say in the Southern New England Conference that we are living the love and justice of Jesus. We do that by gatherings like my brother is curating with over 10 churches, but we also do that when we show up for our neighbor. So looking forward to see some of you on Sunday, and if you can't be there, we welcome your prayers that the Holy Spirit will be with us. And so thank you so much, Paul.
You are welcome, and I do want to add that you'll be joining us.
Yes.
So it's another reason to come.
Well, I mean, in addition to the hot dogs and hamburgers, I mean, I think I can add something to that, but, so thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.